Okay guys, good evening and welcome to Monday night. This is the Gr3 Go For Yourself Endurance Cup. Yes, that's right. It is the familiar face of Hoppers and the familiar voice as per usual for a Monday night, as well as resident commentator. It is good to be back after obviously missing this race last week due to work commitments, but it is good to be back in the commentary box for what is going to be a very close, interesting race. We do have, I believe it is the penultimate round of the championship here at Largo, just north of Lake Maggiore in Italy. The weather looks like it's a bit cloudy, a bit sunny in places, but nevertheless that should not affect the racing for this evening. Just let us know if I'm heard or I'm too quiet or I'm too loud. I'm not going to be taking any offence, but yes, I may sound a bit croaky or a bit overwhelmed. I was at the British Touring Car races at Croft yesterday, and what a mega achievement just to bring that into content. Obviously we're doing virtual commentary and virtual racing, but to just put that out there, it was an absolute amazing feeling to be back trackside, despite what has gone on recently and over the last couple of months with the COVID pandemic. But it's nice to be doing real racing as well as virtual racing. But enough about that. Let's see what's going to happen in the GR3 this evening. I believe we may be combining lobbies. I'm not too sure what the plan is for this evening, so you get the class well, the both tiers in one lobby. I'm not too sure exactly how it's going to work. I think it's all depending on certain bits of numbers as well. It is going to be down to certain things. So we've got 7 drivers in tier 1 at the moment, but hopefully it is good as anything, and we'll see exactly what is going to happen for this evening. So yeah, it's obviously going to be very close, and let's turn that down a minute so I'm not heard, but so it's not repeating, should I say. But obviously, you know, we've got the likes of Casper, Lee Fitzy, Scott Dalby, of course Craig Thomas, and of course Chris Whitley, Nick Sargent, and of course Samper, just to get that early iterations for the guys. It is looking likely we're going to be in for a good night of racing. It is an hour and a half racing. If you're unfamiliar with GR3s, we do have an hour and a half racing. Kind of puts a lot of strategy in certain ways. I think certain drivers were obviously trying different strategies out at Fuji from what I saw last week, and it kind of looked very inspired. So obviously just looking at the field right now, we've got obviously Casper, and obviously we've got the likes of Lee Fitzy. Adam Morgan's just joined. No, it's not British Touring Car Star, even though we wish it was. But it is going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen. So obviously you've got obviously, like say, you've got Lee Fitzy, you've got Casper, and of course Samper in his Audi. Samper's done really well in his racing, just to get that out there for him. Just to say he put a really good show trying to take as he spins it out of, trying to think where he is on the map. I think he's up towards the end of the lap there, so he's done really well to try and chase down Bruno Batica in the WSTC for the title that was taking place on Friday, and what a nail-biting finish that was to that season. And obviously looking at the points calculation from what I did as of Friday, I think I did get it spot on, but we'll see how well the Audi R8 driver goes. He did very well at Fuji last time out, so he's just jumped into pit lane. So you've got Scott Dalby in the Jaguar, trying to actually push quite a bit on, and it is going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen for the championship. It does mean a lot of things for uncertainty for the well, not uncertainty for the championship, but to see how well he's going to go here. He's trying to push, trying to get a podium, and he's not really done too bad this season. He's been quite one of my drivers to I think he has got on the podium at Le Mans, if I remember rightly, but he's obviously been doing very well. He's adapting very well to his racing at the moment. Obviously, like I say, we've not got British Touring Car star Adam Morgan, but he's the Welsh equivalent. He's done okay, and the Aston Martin slowly adapting to it than the gas guzzling Corvette he used last season to take the title. So it's going to be thereabouts. Then you've got Craig Thomas in the other Aston Martin. Not too sure exactly what they're trying to incorporate on their cars by having a bit of a slogan, but I'm not going to obviously go there, but it probably means something that we don't really know. But obviously he's going to be adapting, so obviously the Welsh contingents are very represented in Eldar Sim. Then you have Chris Wheatley in the Ford GT. I believe Daniel Payes is missing this evening. He's having problems with his wheel, which is a bit unfortunate. I was really looking forward to seeing Daniel back after having reading the BTCC, what we do on a Wednesday, stats and obviously final championship positions. He actually won that, so it is fantastic to see. But obviously Daniel is missing tonight, which is a big shame. I was hopefully looking forward to seeing the other Ford GT out on the track. Then you've got Nick Sargent, obviously founder of Eldar Sim Racing, in the Luke Reed inspired Ginetta. I actually saw that livery yesterday in real life. I thought it looked pretty cool, and it looks pretty cool in the online racing world as well. And then obviously you've got Sampa's Audi R8. So that is 8 drivers at the moment. I'm waiting to see if we are combining lobbies or not, but Noah Wright has just arrived in the orange and black Corvette, so we'll see exactly what is going to happen. Just need to double check a few things. But looking at times in practice, then Casper Brotner, keep calling him Calderon because of his PSM, but Casper Brotner setting the pace in the normal BMW M6, the GT3 spec, not the Volkenhorst VLN specification. But either way, the BMWs have been the dominant force of the championship for quite some time. I believe next week is the final round at Spa-Francorchamps, and that race is going to be around 2 hours long. That is going to be quite strenuous, and most likely going to be strenuous on my voice box, but nevertheless we will make sure we have got plenty of fluid and plenty of water to see exactly what will happen between now and then. But hopefully we are going to be in for some good value races. So it looks like at the moment, however, we still got then looking at the thing, it looks like we've got 9 drivers, but according to my thing it says we've got 8. It's just updated now that Noah's in pit lane. It just looked like, because obviously with the rest of them in pit lane, but kind of looks like it's going to be very close. We'll see exactly what Noah's going to do this evening in his, I think he's in his 3rd event. So I think we are actually going to be combining so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So obviously, you know, it's going to be very close. I think the guys are actually roughly going to be pushing on quite a bit. So hopefully it is going to be a good one. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen. I need to believe it's near enough now a full lobby, so it's going to be very close. I'm not too sure then if Rasmus will make it, but by looking at that, we are most likely going to be up to a few. I believe Smoking Tortoise is Jeff Steele, so I'm not too sure if that is correct. I'm sure the guys will correct me, but there is some familiar faces. So I believe Nate Fletch is back racing in the Audi R8, so it is the second Audi R8 of the field. So this is where it's going to get very close and probably interesting now, because we do have quite a few drivers that are obviously going to be combining. So Steve Stone, however, in the Mercedes. It's nice to have Steve back, and then you've got Jeff in the Viper. The Viper's coming around, so we'll see exactly what's happening. I believe at the moment though it's going to be very close to see what is going to happen. I think we do have, maybe could be Brian Ross. If Brian Ross gets in, it could be Brian Montgomery that does jump into the lobby as well. So Brian Ross currently just waiting to jump in the lobby, so it's going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen. So there's probably quite another few people out there, so it's going to be very close to see how well things go. So it is Brian Montgomery that just jumped into the room, so we'll see what Brian Montgomery can do. Obviously a couple of race wins in the tier 2 division. That's normally alongside these guys on a Monday night, but obviously due to low numbers in tier 2 they've decided to combine the lobby for this evening. So it is great to see exactly absolutely a full grid of Gr3 cars. So we'll see exactly what is going to carry on with certain bits and pieces for this evening. So who knows exactly how things go. But I believe we'll be starting very soon, so see what car Brian Montgomery is in. I can't remember. He was in the Viper last season. He's now gone for Mercedes, so it looks like we have Brian Ross in another Audi R8. So we have 3 Audi R8s on track instead of 3 BMWs this evening. So that is looking very sharp, that Audi R8 there. We'll see exactly who else is around. Gareth Morris is in lobby in the VLN specification M6. So there's quite a lot of drivers this evening, so it's quite crazy to see quite a lot of people thereabouts. But, excuse me. But it is going to be amazing to see how well these guys go. Casper just goes into pit lane. Obviously with Gr3, if you're new, just to understand, you know, we have 10 minutes of qualifying, then a race is an hour and a half long. It may seem a long event because it normally is, and it is but as I was saying, yeah, it's an hour and a half, and you know, it's going to be very epic. But the pit stops are least like soft and medium tyres, so I think you have to do 10 minutes minimum on each set just to get that pit stop done and completed. But it is going to be quite amazing to see exactly what is going to happen. But everyone's getting ready for the 10-minute qualifying, and it is the first time with 15 cars out on the grid this evening, so It's going to be a lot of action, and probably my voice will disappear somehow, maybe into thin air at some point. But I believe Nick's just waiting for everyone to go out of pit lane like he normally does, just to make sure there's no issues. So Brian Moncani's gone out, and Sampa's just going to be sitting behind as well, just for a couple of minutes while we get through the first couple of turns around here, because it is tight and twisty into turns 1 and 2. So obviously with Largo, we have 15 cars now out on track. It's a bit very unreal. So I believe Jeff Steele rather, he's at the back of the tail. The timing screen's having a bit of a wobbler with me at the moment, but should pick up in a minute. He's going through mobile turn, so we're not on the shorter loops this evening. We are on the full circuit, which is a lot of undulations. I believe it's actually Lee Fitzy that leads them away then into total NASCAR, the banking towards the back end of the field. So he's going to fire it up the hill now, which is going to be very close to see exactly what it's going to do. They're just out on their outlap, so 8.5 minutes to go in qualifying. Some of these guys have literally pushed on for quite a bit, so obviously, you know, the lap round here is going to be very interesting to see how well things go with these guys. So into the last turn, and so it's into another slight left-hand camber, and Lee Fitzy's about to cross the line. Wouldn't be surprised if people are going to jump into pit lane to change the tyres over and get a bit more heat, because that's what they need to do. But obviously they're not really going to get a bit more heat at the moment. So Lee Fitzy is the first one to actually peel off, so he's Scott Dalby. And of course, just looking at the field, just thereabouts, I believe Nick's still there in pit lane at the moment, obviously just sorting things out at the moment, I believe. So hopefully the Luke Reed inspired Ginetta livery will jump in. So I believe Rasmus is trying to make it, but because the lobby is full, he can't. So that's a bit unfortunate for Rasmus at the moment. It's going to be a bit difficult to find out exactly what's going to happen, but 7 minutes, just under 7 minutes now to go and qualify. So Lee Fitzy still leading the way. Then we'll see exactly who's going to get the pole position, because it is going to be very tight. But going into the banking here, it is a very famous overtaking spot. You've got to be careful exactly how Lee Fitzy's just done it, run wide onto the sand. Luckily the sand didn't sink him in, and you know, it kind of pushed him a bit wide, but that hopefully shouldn't hamper his lap time. 6.5 minutes to go then, as he goes into Toyo Tyres Bend. It's kind of a sweeping right, and then into sort of a tight chicane sort of esque turn. So you know, you've got to be careful, especially on the AstroTurf stuff as well. The red bit onto the side, but going into the final turn then into the camber, he goes about to fly under the bridge, about to complete his lap time. It's about going to be a 156.6 at the moment, but Gareth Morris pips him. Adam Morgan goes provisional pole position as times are coming thick and fast. Adam Morgan then 155.0, Gareth Morris off to the side of the road at the moment. 155.2, Craig Thomas then 155.8, Chris Wheatley, however 155.892, so it almost was a 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Welsh. So Rasmus can't enter the lobby. It means we're going to be probably dropping down to probably a couple of drivers, but just give me 1 second, guys. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So I apologise guys, I just was waiting to see what's going on, but it looks like Casper's on another flyer in his BMW, so it's Adam Morgan second, Gareth Morrison third, Sampa spoiling sort of the Welsh symmetry in fourth place at the moment with 155.4, Lee Fitzy still in sixth, Noah in sixth place at the moment, 155.7. Times are coming thick and fast because people are improving their lap times. Craig's still sat in pit lane at the moment, whether he's going to push on. Chris Wheatley, 155.892 was his fastest time. No Fletch, 156.1. Steve Stone's 157.606. Scott Dalby 155.7. Where's that? Put him on the grid though. That's put him up to fifth. So 3 minutes and 10 seconds left. So Jeff Steele in the Viper, 158.952 was his best time. But it is going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen thereabouts. It's very important to see exactly what happened. So they're going to have to split again now, so qualifying is not going to be so I believe they're just waiting for everyone to back out, I believe. So I do apologise guys, we're just in the process of sorting stuff out at the moment. So I do apologise, we are going to be waiting just in case. So it looked like at the moment Casper will be starting to race on his own if the timer was still carrying on running. But at the moment then we are looking likely for our usual lots then, which is a bit unfortunate really, but hey ho, what can we do? So we are going to be probably doing 6 minutes of qualifying, and it is going to be thereabouts, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen, because we do have 6 minutes on the clock. I think it was ideally roughly thereabouts when they're trying to sort things out, but nevertheless we are good to go. It's about 10 drivers this evening. So we're looking at Scott Dalby, so we're going to see exactly who's going to get pole position. Rasmus is on the wrong tyres, so he's actually on the wet. I don't know whether that's a glitch or whether that's just a bold move. So we see exactly what's going to happen. I believe Adam Morgan didn't enter on time, so we're going to be a bit delayed again, so another red flag. So we'll go again for another restart. So qualifying's been red flagged twice. Let's get going and let's see how well everyone gets good to go. Let's see what is going to happen then. It's going to be 6 minutes of qualifying. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So Lee Fitzy there about to be the first one to escape out of pit lane to go onto his flying lap, so it will be reduced to 6 minutes. So we'll see exactly how well things go. There's quite a few interesting. We'll see exactly what Rasmus can do. Hopefully he's not put the wets on this time round, which he did before. I think he's kind of probably raced that in a wet weather race somehow to figure out exactly what was going to happen. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Craig's trying to get break the toe of him at the moment, going down towards Total NASCAR. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen. But so far then, 4 minutes and 10 seconds left to qualify, so they are on the outlaps. Maybe it's going to be a quicker qualifying session just because of obviously just of what we've seen so far, but hopefully we are in for some close proximity battles, and hopefully it should be good to find out exactly what's going to happen this evening. So currently then, Lee Fitzy about to go onto his flying lap. They probably are going to go and only get this one this time round, because obviously with the nature of the only 6 minutes that they have left of qualifying, but it's 3.5 minutes, so it might be, they might push on, but the ones towards the back may just have a look who's at the back at the moment. Scott Dalby and of course Zumper. I think Nick's just swapping tyres over, so we'll see exactly what he's going to do. He'll probably get another, they'll probably get another taste of another lap, so into Liquid Molly then. I believe that's Liquid Molly Bend, if I remember rightly. No, it isn't, this is Liquid Molly Bend. I do apologise, people. Trying to remember exactly what I called the turns here at Lake Maggiore, or Largo, if you want to be very, very precise, into Total NASCAR, because it's a banked curve. It is one of the most as close proximity corners. They do have some quite astounding overtakes into the Snake Bend, into Toyo Tyres Bend, as it sidewinds its way through the sort of a kink here, and then obviously into the left camber to complete the lap. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Excuse me. But we'll see how well everyone does. And under the bridge we go. Lee Fitzy's about to cross the line then. 2 minutes to go, so he's gone 156.1. Casper, however, gets pipped by Chris Wheatley though, 155.2, where Casper did a 155.3. So Chris Wheatley provisional pole position at the moment. No idea why the blue flags are showing, but is that just how it is? Scott Dalby though, 156.060, puts the Jaguar up into third at the moment. Lee Fitzy fourth then, back down fourth. Noah fifth then, 156.1. Rasmus at the moment, 156.7. Samper goes third, fastest now. Pips Scott Dalby's time, 155.423. So the LDR rate driver currently on song, trying to actually push on quite a bit for his good starting position. So Adam Morgan then, not too Josh Dart, 157.070. See what the Aston Martin can do. He's got Craig Thomas 2-minute.1495 at the moment. And Craig's obviously trying to carry on that momentum, but purple in that sector, whether that's just personal best. Gareth Morris 10th place at the moment, 2-minute.04.9. And then obviously Nick 157.3 at the moment, but seems his fastest time was obviously 2 minutes 48.6 or 46.6. I beg your pardon, I think that's when he went into pit lane. Got 20 seconds left to qualify, and then is Chris Wheatley going to get pole position, or someone going to pip him to it right at the end? It's going to be very interesting. He's going through the latter half now. He's got Casper and Lee Fitzy ahead of him. Casper's about to cross the line though, however. It looks like Casper goes provisional pole position, but it's all about what Chris Wheatley can do. I think Chris Wheatley's actually still stayed second, so Casper takes pole position, then 154.540. What's Samper going to do? Samper's just coming through the latter half. I think he's actually gone off a bit. He's actually got a 5/10 penalty now, so that's going to hamper his lap time. Gareth Morris then. Oh, Craig's gone up to fourth. That was a good lap time in the end. I did say he was on a purple sector, so maybe all the purple sectors did push on for quite a bit then. So it goes Casper, Chris Wheatley, Samper, Craig Thomas, Gareth Morris, Noah, Adam Morgan, Lee Fitzy, and then of course Rasmus, Scott Dalby, and then of course Nick's just gone into pit lane, just probably thought he had enough time to get another run. That will be the end of qualifying then for the penultimate round of the GR3 Go Fudge Yourself Endurance Cup. But I believe Casper has managed to get across the line before anyone else to get another run in. He's the only one that's got another run in to get improve his lap time, but I don't think he's going to get round before the timer ends. So I thought he had finished, but obviously not, so maybe he's going to try and improve his lap time, maybe as a punishment for not finishing the lap when the checkered flag was out. But unless he's decided, right, okay, we'll see what we can do. He's about to cross the line now. He's got Lee Fitzy, dives out the way. He actually magically disappeared around, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. I believe we do have a few comments on the live stream. I do apologise guys, I will read the comments later, but we'll get underway for the first instalment of the night, the hopefully the race goes to plan, but we are going to be pushing on for quite a start, and we'll try and see if we can see what's going to happen. So Casper currently on pole position from Chris Wheatley, Samper behind him, and then it's Craig Thomas. The lights have turned out and away we go. Looks like Samper's got a really decent start though, however, into turn number 1. Craig Thomas also there. It's likely it's going to be madness into the first 2 turns, as it normally is here at Largo, but Chris Wheatley is the one that gets into first place, then away from Samper. Craig Thomas thereabouts in third place, Adam Morgan and Casper respectively behind each other at the moment then, so it's going to be very close and personal to see exactly what's going to happen. You can just see all of them chasing for nose to tail, but at the moment Samper trying to chase after Chris Wheatley, but got to defend from Craig Thomas there, going into Mobile Bend for the first time then, with Adam Morgan also behind, with Noah right behind him in that Corvette. Just remember, Adam Morgan knows how to drive that Corvette. That Corvette was the star of the show last season. But it looks like Casper's dropped down to 6th place at the moment. He's got Gareth Morris behind him. The VLN specification. Noah's got... Oh no, it's Casper with that 5-tenth penalty. He's going to have to take that this time round. And it looks like the Jaguars are towards the back of the field, with Rasmus Ommerland's BMW literally alongside, but Scott Dalby going into Total NASCAR thinks about it, gets a move on Lee Fitzy, as well as Rasmus tries to do exactly the same. Nick currently at the tail of the field. Maybe the strategy will be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen between these guys. It's going to be thereabouts, but Chris Wheatley leads them away then, going into Toyo Bend for the first time then. This is where the racing is going to get very close tonight, because Samper gets a bit sideways. I don't know whether that was a touch from Craig or he just had a slide on, he snakes it back, but then he's lost out to Craig Thomas. Craig Thomas gets into 2nd place then, with Samper dropped down to 3rd, with Adam Morgan 4th. Noah still in 5th, followed by Gareth Morris now. Casper's dropped down to 7th after taking that penalty, so we've already ticked off lap number 1 then. Here at Largo, Adam Morgan goes across the grass into Noah's driver's side door there. Maybe it's a bit of a rough and tumble moment into turn number 1, as it normally seems to be here at Largo. Scott Dalby's on a massive charge. He's already up into 8th place though. Lee Fitz's other Jaguar right behind at the moment. We'll see exactly what's going to happen with these guys. It seems that Chris Wheatley is pushing that advantage, but battles galore. It seems that Adam Morgan's trying to get past that Corvette that he famously raced last season, and it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. But Noah's so far doing a good job in 4th place, obviously trying to emulate what he did on Friday in WSTC, but still pushing. He's got that orange and black Corvette snaking, but he's going to try and get past. Or is it? Oh, Adam Morgan's got past, tucked right in at the last minute there. But it shows how competitive the Gr3 Endurance Cup has been this season. Gareth Morris is on the charge now. He's going to try and tuck in behind that Corvette, because Casper Brockner on a charge though. Casper so far trying to take that into the inside line, maybe the outside line, but it was now the inside for this turn, trying to get past the Volkenhorst BMW. We're going to see exactly what's going to happen, but Scott Dalby's also behind Rasmus there. Lee Fitzy still about in 9th, and Nick in 11th for the moment. Maybe just trying to push on, trying to get the there's yellow flag. Samper's gone off into 10th place. We didn't see exactly what happened, but I believe he spun, or he's had a bit of contact with people. But that's allowed Casper into 5th place though. However, with Noah in 6th, putting on the charge, so trying to overtake Casper, the first of the Danes, trying to get back past Gareth Morris. Then you can just about see Noah trying to tuck behind that BMW. The 2 BMWs up front at the moment. Gareth Morris, the Volkenhorst versus the GT3 specification, so they're both same car, but obviously different specifications in obviously the world of Gran Turismo. But at the moment Casper tries to get alongside. Noah tries to get alongside Casper, and then they said Casper tried to get alongside Casper then, but obviously it was Noah trying to take Casper for 5th place at the moment, but he's got to be careful because he's got Scott Dalby rather on a charge. It's going to be thereabouts, but looking exactly what's happening, Lee Fitzy and Rasmus Ommeren, they're both nose to tail as well, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen between the pair of them very soon. But Craig Thomas has probably had a penalty, so he's pushed on, but in the meantime that is allowing Chris Wheatley to extend his advantage in the Ford at the moment. The Ford seems to be very quick around here, but he's got to be careful. We'll see exactly. The two Aston Martins are nose to tail as Adam Morgan tries to make a move into Toyo. No, it's not Toyo's turn yet. It's next turn, but obviously it's going to be very close to see exactly what Adam Morgan's going to do. He's got to be careful because these two are in both machinery. It's going to be very close, but Gareth Morris into 4th, still in 4th place. Casper thereabouts in 5th. Noah still there for 6th. At the moment, the orange and black Chevrolet Corvette. It's going to be close to see exactly what's going to happen. Sampa back in front of Nick then for 10th place at the moment. These two are having a bit of a nice dice at the moment as well. So on to lap number 4 then, with an hour and 24 seconds just under to go. So it's going to be very close racing between them. Still a long way to go, not even at the halfway mark yet, and it's going to be very close into the other sort of crisscross bend at the moment, into the Gr3 turn in a moment, but then it's obviously into Mobile, and it's going to be very close to see exactly what's happening because Gareth Morris is currently under threat from the likes of Casper, and then obviously, you know, Noah's under threat from Scott Dalby, so Scott's going to try and push that Jaguar alongside, but still looking at this battle, these two are going to catch up to the likes of Adam Morgan and of course Craig Thomas in a moment or two if they're not careful. But that's allowing Chris Wheatley, this guy on screen currently, leading the way, still pushing on. Craig's going to be overtaken into total, and that's got, he's got it, Adam Morgan's got it, but Craig thinks about taking it, and I tell you what, Casper's up into 4th now with Gareth Morris on that inside line. Maybe it could be close between the two BMWs. There's a battle almost for 6th place with Scott Dalby. Scott gets into 6th place, what a nice move. But Noah's going to be putting him under considerable amount of pressure. There's almost 4 cars now for 6th place. Oh my goodness, 3 cars into 1 wouldn't go there, but Scott Dalby manages to escape, and Noah tries to get thereabouts with Rasmus Ommeren. Rasmus flashes the lights in anguish, but that's allowed Lee Fitzy to get alongside. Who's alongside Lee Fitzy at the moment is Rasmus, and Noah has to tuck right behind Lee Fitzy. Probably doesn't want to go 3 cars wide. Oh my goodness, it's going to be 3 cars wide almost. There we go. It probably might work, but Scott Dalby trying to escape now. Rasmus Ommeren though, he's got to be careful because he's got Noah and Lee Fitzy. We're just seeing what exactly is going to happen with these guys. Lee Fitzy gets that Jaguar back in front of the BMW, but Noah, he's on that attack. Noah pushes him a bit wide, so Rasmus kicks up the dirt yet again. Rasmus is flashing the lights saying, oh my goodness, what have you got to do? But he's dropped back down to 9th place at the moment. Noah's still there with Lee Fitzy alongside him. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen, but what is happening for around 2nd place at the moment? Craig Thomas catching up to Adam Morgan. Chris Wheatley still leading the race then. These guys are considerably amount of pressure, but we'll see what is going to happen. But Craig's there for excuse me, for 3rd place at the moment. Casper 4th then, Gareth Morris 5th at the moment, trying to take him alongside. It seems a lot is happening. Scott Dalby still in 6th place then, pushing that Jaguar. Noah still in there in 8th place, got Lee Fitzy in front of him at the moment, but Rasmus Ommeren still thereabouts. Sampa in 10th then, Nick's still in 11th. Maybe Nick's just trying to get used to the adaptations with the Jaguar at the moment though, pushing it all the way, and it's really good to see. But Rasmus thereabouts, we'll see exactly what's going to happen with whether that battle for 2nd still come alive. But Rasmus is there between, of course, Noah and Lee Fitzy. They're going to try and make it quite impossible to, well, impossible to pass each other. However, but Rasmus is still there then. Noah's trying to make a move on Lee Fitzy into turn number 1. Got to be careful not to cut that grass and jump that curb, because it has been so many issues with that corner. But it seems at the moment then Noah's trying to push on to Lee Fitzy. Scott Dalby still holding on for dear life. This is where it's going to get very close. We'll see how much it's going to be between these guys in the meantime. But we'll see exactly what is going to happen. But oh, Rasmus gets a bit sideways in front of Gareth Morris. Gareth Morris gets that. Oh, Chris Wheatley's lost the lead then to Adam Morgan. Looks like the not the Vipers, the Aston Martins, first and second now. Chris Wheatley into third place then, dropped down to third. Did he have a penalty though? Is that why them two are closed up, or is that just how it is? But Gareth Morris into fourth then. Casper Brockner back down to fifth. Scott Dalby, oh, he's under pressure now from Lee Fitzy and of course Noah. Oh my goodness, but Rasmus has a penalty, so that's going to be a bit unfortunate. They're going to try and make it 3 wide into Total NASCAR. Just about tried to make it 2 wide this time, because they know it might not go. But Noah into 7th then. Lee Fitzy down to 8th. Rasmus in 9th then. I think Rasmus has had a bit of a shocker so far. But this is where it counts. The battle for first is still raging on as well. But this is why the GR3 Endurance Cup has been a hugely close proximity in the top tier, because everyone races. And I tell you what, I think most people want to try and win as well. You can just see Gareth Morris 4th, Scott still in 6th then, under threat from Noah there. Noah right in the into the bus stop, as we're going to call it. But Noah's right behind him, and then he's got Lee Fitzy for company. But they've got to be careful, because Rasmus Omeron is on a massive charge. He's trying to catch these guys up. He's trying to catch up to the back of these guys, trying to catch the way it's going to go. But I tell you what, down GoPro Hill for the 7th time then towards Mobile Bend. It's going to be very close between these 4. We'll see exactly how well that's going to pan out. But I think from what I'm seeing, Scott Dalby still holding on for 6th place at the moment. Lee Fitzy's trying to get past Noah as well in the process. But this is going to be allowing the likes of Rasmus to try and catch back up to these guys. It's going to be thereabouts. We'll try and push on for quite some time. It's going to be thereabouts. Scott kicks up the dirt though, so that's going to be very close. We'll see exactly what's happening. Gareth Morris is catching up to Chris Wheatley though, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen between the battle for 6th, 7th and 7th between Noah and Scott. Noah gets alongside, but Scott says, not on your life, sunshine, I'm going to get that line back. So Scott gets ahead of the Corvette with Noah still alongside him. Just about. He's got to be careful. There's a lot of pushing thereabouts with Lee Fitzy trying to get onto the back. That's allowed Rasmus to try and slowly but surely close back up. Sampa's still 10th, Nick still in 11th at the moment. He's trying to push on, but the battle is still raging between 6th, 7th and most likely now 8th and 9th. It could be if Rasmus catches these guys up. But this is where it could hurt. But at the moment we can just see Scott under pressure from that Corvette of Noah. Noah's got that Corvette dialed up very well at the moment, but it seems there could be 4 cars battling for the 6th place in a moment or two if we're not careful. But I'll tell you what, this is why I love commentating, because these guys week in week out really give me some good value racing. And Noah's tries to get alongside Scott Dalby. He's trying to take the outside line going down GoPro Hill into Mobile Bend. Oh, there's a bit of a touch between the pair of them, but Lee Fitzy's going to try and get that outside line, or the inside line at Mobile, I beg your pardon, down under that slightly the bridge there in towards that bend there. It's going to be very close. Noah's still thereabouts, but going in towards the Liquid Molly bend now. He goes Lee Fitzie's got a 5/10 penalty. That is going to hurt him, but you know it's going to be thereabouts, so that will give now to Rasmus that 8th place. You know he's going to try and go on the defensive and try and get Scott Dalby, which he does this time round into NASCAR. We'll see what's happening further up the road. Craig Thomas Stokes still, however, trying to catch up to Adam Morgan. He's got his best mate Gareth Morris right behind him at the moment then, but it looks very tasty and very an interesting battle. But Gareth Morris now into 3rd, Chris Wheatley 4th, with Casper Brotno right behind the Ford. I think the Ford's now starting to struggle slightly, but whether that's just because of certain bits and pieces, but we'll see exactly what is going to happen between these guys. At the moment, Craig Thomas still 2nd place at the moment. We've got an hour and 14 minutes left of the race. Scott back into 6th then. I think Noah had a bit of a penalty, so he's dropped down to around 9th, but Scott's got Rasmus right behind him. Rasmus is going to be all over the back of that Jaguar any moment. You can just about see it, but is it going to be very close between these guys, or is it just about Scott Dalby's 6th place at the moment, it seems? But he's about 6.7 from Casper Brotno in 5th place at the moment, so the cars are kind of equally spread out at the moment then. So into Mobile Bend as we go for the 9th time. Scott's got a bit alongside slightly. He's going to be very careful. Not to get past, well, not to get Rasmus past him. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen with Rasmus trying to chase down the Jaguar. We'll see exactly what's going to happen for this time. We can just see exactly how well this is going to go. But I tell you what, Rasmus gets that Jaguar pushed down the hill into total NASCAR. He's trying to make it. Scott goes on the defensive. Rasmus cuts across that line there. Whether that will consider him to get away with it for now, but he's got to be careful because Lee Fitzie's going to be right behind him as well. But at the moment then, Casper into 4th, back into 4th place after a bit of a nightmare. Chris Wheatley now 5th, but Adam Morgan still leading the race then. Kicks up a lot of dirt out in the final bend, so Craig is the first to blink probably to go into pit lane to get them mediums on. The mediums are going to be pushing, so it's going to be very close. We'll see exactly where he comes out, whether he times the pit stop to perfection. I think Nick's also gone into pit lane, so we didn't see that. He's down in 11th place at the moment, but he's probably thinking, well, with the other guys, oh, Craig Thomas, is Craig going to get ahead of him? Yes, he has. We know how well Craig likes his pit stops. But at the moment then, the battle for 5th place is there about now between the likes of Scott, Rasmus and of course Lee Fitzie. As Lee Fitzie tries to get a move on to Rasmus, taps Rasmus out of Mobile. Maybe that's just a shade of what happened a couple of laps ago with there again, but who knows exactly what's going to happen. So Scott Dalby still in 5th place then, with of course Chris Wheatley 4th, trying to chase after Casper Brotno for the time being. Excuse me. And then obviously Gareth Morris 2nd, Adam Morgan still leading the race then, with of course Scott Dalby under threat from Rasmus Omerun. We'll just see exactly what the pair can do going into the NASCAR bend. But it seems at the moment then, between Nick and of course Craig Thomas, both have pitted, so they're going to be obviously pushing on, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen between these guys at the moment. And it seems to be a lot of interest for the battle for 5th place at the moment though, because it's between Rasmus and of course Scott. Scott gets alongside, Rasmus gets alongside Scott, but I think Scott's actually going to go into pit lane, so that explains the move. And Lee Fitzie also joins him into pit lane, so Excuse me. So it's going to be very close. So Rasmus now has Noah right behind him, the Corvette right behind. So it's obviously going to be very close. So Craig and Nick move up a place for the time being. Obviously Scott's going to go into the mediums, topping up fuel now for these guys, but Adam Morgan still leading the race then, obviously reigning champion of last season. Gareth Morris thereabouts trying to push on for obviously second place between obviously himself and Rasmus. Chris Wheatley, multiple race winner and even a champion in Eldar Sim history. Rasmus Omeran, no, still obviously a couple of race winners in GR3 cars, obviously probably in BMWs, no doubt. Pushing on for that 5th place at the moment. Noah trying to do a stellar job trying to catch up to him. Maybe he's just trying to get that Corvette just dialed up to the best he can. But we've still got an hour and 9 minutes to go in this race. It may feel like a long time, but I think Noah's going to go into pits this time round. Sampa thereabouts in 7th for the moment then. The Audi driver having a bit of a an electric start just into when we started, and obviously probably a spin or a bit of contact between a car and it's pushed him down a bit. But Craig and then Nick, of course, Lee Fitzy and Scott Dalby are thereabouts, but Scott's gone off a bit wide there at Total Nazgul. Whether that's just playing into the hands, but in the meantime Noah is staying out. No, he's not, he's going to pit lane, so I thought he was going to stay out, but into pit lane he goes then. So Sampa goes up into 6th place at the moment. So there's not really many people taking this time at the moment, trying to, maybe it's down to the strategy now, trying to think, well, can we get the best out of our tyres? I think the softs at the moment are slightly wearing, but you can just see exactly what's going to happen between these guys. So Sampa thereabouts in 6th place then, Craig 7th and Nick in 8th at the moment. Nick's actually not gone into the pits, I beg your pardon. He was showing that he did, but maybe he's yet to take that pit stop. Maybe that was just my imagination, but never seems to get the better of me. But he's still there, still in 8th in the Luke Reed inspired Ginetta liveried Jaguar. I must say it is a lovely looking car. Scott Dalby still in 10th and Lee Fitz in 9th. Noah in 11th then. Still going to try and push that Chevy Corvette to its limit into Mobile Bend he goes. Adam Morgan still there leading the race then. Maybe going into Toyo tyres thinking, is he going to swap tyres this time around? Or is he going to be pushing for quite some time to see exactly what he's going to do? Gareth Morris thereabouts in 2nd place, with Casper trying to chase him down. So the Vokenhorst versus the GT3 BMW, the normal GT3 BMW. But they're staying up for another lap as well, so quite pushing on. Chris Wheatley then, is he staying up for another lap? Yes he is. Rasmus Omeran probably will stay out for another lap. We know what Rasmus is like. Likes to push on in the second of the Vokenhorst BMWs. Then you've got Sampa going into pit lane now, and Craig Thomas thereabouts picks up into 6th place then. I think Nick's going to think about topping up the fuel tank, so he goes into pit lane then, probably to get rid of the racing mediums as well. Lee Fitzy there, he will jump up to 7th. Scott Dalby will jump up to 8th. And then of course Noah into 9th place then, so it's between Nick and Sampa in pit lane, but it looks like Sampa is the into 9th place then, so he's overtook Noah going out of pit lane, so another perfected pit stop. It seems we'll see exactly what's going to happen between quite a lot of the guys in the meantime. Okay mate, no rude. So there's a tyre glitch. No rules mate. Thanks for clarifying that. So Adam Morgan then, still leading the race, is about to take a pit stop this time around with an hour and 5 minutes left. Gareth Morris, however, being caught by Casper Brockner, the two BMWs. Maybe it's going to be another BMW horse race this evening. Who knows exactly what's going to happen, because the Gr3 GR3 top tier tend to throw a lot of curveballs and have a lot of fireworks as Gareth Morris runs wide out at the final turn there. And Casper's had to go on that line, but Gareth Morris still stays there. But Gareth Morris' fuel light has come on as he goes across the line. Chris Wheatley also staying up for another lap. Adam Morgan topping up fuel. Rasmus Ommeren will take 4th place unless Adam Morgan's crew get that Aston Martin down and refueled just as he goes into turn 1. No, he doesn't. He tucks right back into... Oh, he's actually come... That's Rasmus, isn't it, in 4th? Yes, Craig Thomas 5th. Adam Morgan in 6th and rejoins onto the mediums. Full tank of fuel ready to go again. Lee Fitzy in 7th and Scott in 8th. Sampa 9th, Noah in 10th, and of course Nick in 11th at the moment, though, going through the latter half of the lap. So we'll see what the Jaguar can do, whether he pushes on and tries to get thereabouts. But in the meantime, Casper Brockner trying to push that black, I think it's actually, no, it's not, it's a grey, it's a dark grey, it looks black on screen, but it is a grey colour, grey, white and orange BMW M6. Then you've got the Volkenhorst Beamer World of Gareth Morris. Looks a very nice livery, I must admit. Then you've got Chris Wheatley in the Ford GT40 trying to push on it, eating while drinking that fuel quite a bit, but we'll see what he does. Rasmus thereabouts, still 4th place with the fuel light on. He's got Craig Thomas chasing him, so the lead of the race could be changing yet again, but we will see, because it all depends on the guys that are yet to pit. Maybe some do tend to stay out though, so Gareth Morris will be the first to blink of the top 2 that were thereabouts. So I think Casper stays out and then Chris Wheatley jumps in. I think Rasmus may stay out. The BMW does tend to have a bit of more fuel, but by looks of it, Rasmus jumps in, so that's allowed Casper and to take that 1st place. But Craig Thomas, however, in thereabouts with the Aston Martin in 2nd. His fuel lights just come on again, so maybe it's been a bit weird this evening for these guys. Gareth Morris then, just under half a tank. That's a bit brave. Maybe it's going to be thereabouts, but we've got 1 hour and just under 2 minutes to go before the race does finish. Adam Morgan thereabouts in 4th at the moment, previous race leader. Chris Wheatley 5th, then Lee Fitzy in 6th, Scott 7th, Sampa 8th, Noah in 9th, and Rasmus 10th, and of course Nick in 11th at the moment. May bring up some more positions to see exactly what is going to happen, but we'll be thereabouts. But it is going to be thereabouts. But Craig's got the fastest lap at the moment with a 1:54.8. So Casper will be coming this time round into the pits, no doubt. I think he's trying to push on for that elusive lead in a lap point as well. But we'll see how well he does. So he dives into pit lane then. Craig is thereabouts. He's got Gareth Morris, his best mate, behind him. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen. So we'll see how well things go. Gareth Morris then, however, leads the race. Casper back out into second then. Maybe pit stops are a bit weird tonight. Maybe they're just trying to make the fuel last a bit, or trying to burn a bit with an hour left. Chris Wheatley in fourth then. Craig did go into pit lane. Lee Fitzy thereabouts in fifth. Scott sixth. Sampa seventh, trying to push on to try and get past Scott's Jaguar, the Audi R8. Oh, it's got a bit of a squiggle. Maybe doing its trademark signature out of that turn there. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Noah in 8th then, doing a stellar job in his, I think it's his only third event for the endurance. I'm not too sure, I've lost count how many events he's actually done now. Rasmus in 9th then, Craig 10th, Nick at 11th then. So we're just under an hour to go in this race then. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen between the two BMWs of Gareth Morris and of course Casper Brotner, as everyone has finished their first stint of the evening. Casper runs a bit wide out of total NASCAR. That has dropped him, not considerably back though, but it's dropped him a bit. But he's pulling that BMW power back in front of almost Gareth Morris, but you can just see Gareth Morris defended very well in that Beamer World BMW at the moment then, with Adam Morgan in third place. But the battle for first place is hotting up because Casper is trying to get alongside Gareth Morris. He wants to get back into the race lead as we go into the final turn, into the camber across the start finish line then. Under the bridge we go, about to cross the line. Casper thinks about it. Gareth Morris is there, the yellow headlighted BMW. You can just see him pushing quite a bit. So the Welshman versus the Dane, it's going to be very close between these two. We'll see exactly what is going to happen. Adam Morgan there in third, with Chris Wheatley fourth at the moment. Lee Fitzy still fifth, Sampa sixth. As we've seen, he's got past Scott Dalby, with Noah in, of course, 8th, Rasmus 9th, Craig in 10th, and of course Nick in 11th. But the battle for first is still hotting up. We'll see exactly what is going to be between these guys. Is it going to get very close? We'll see what is going to happen. But we'll see exactly thereabouts. Well, it looks like Casper's dropped back though, 0.9 of a second to Gareth Morris it seems. So we're thereabouts at the moment between these two, with just under 52 minutes remaining. Well, just over 52, coming up to the 57 rather. Get it in my head, come on Poppers. With, yeah, 57 minutes remaining. Adam Morgan there in third place then. Chris Wheatley still fourth for GT40, having a good run out this evening. Lee Fitzy in fifth place then. Sampa sixth at the moment, still holding on to sixth place from Scott Dalby's Jaguar. You can just see the Audi just thereabouts. But I think the battle for first is getting a bit more spread out now, because Casper's trying to push that BMW to its degree. Obviously both cars are evenly matched, obviously different specifications, but they both have the same running power. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So see if there's any other battles going on at the moment. They're actually all spread out, but I think the battle for the lead is coming down slightly, excuse me, with Gareth Morris thereabouts trying to push it on. Lap 18 then, we're around 56 minutes remaining. This is where it is going to get very close, because we are obviously now in the latter half of the race now, and it's going to be very close. But I think Casper may take an advantage and take a lunge off Gareth Morris when he gets the chance. But you can just see how weird the fuel tank is between each other. Obviously heavy fuel, maybe lighter fuel, maybe different strategy, but Casper yet again picks up a 0.5 tenth of a penalty, and that is going to be close. We'll see exactly what is going to happen for the remaining bits of the race it seems, but obviously it is thereabouts. And I'll tell you what, Casper soon to lost that penalty. He's lost quite a bit of ground. He's 1.6 of a second from Gareth Morris, so the Dane is going to have to catch up to the Welshman if he wants to get that race win. But you know, it is still a long way to go. We're not even halfway through the race yet. Casper's trying to push the maximum limit out of his M6 at the moment. You can just see exactly the M6 of Gareth Morris. Gaps continue to come down, whether that's because Gareth Morris knows he's going to have to top that fuel tank up yet again. But the mediums so far seems to be very good. Adam Morgan still in third, Lee Fitzy 2.1 of a second from Chris Wheatley at the moment. Samper still thereabouts in 6th place. Scott Dalby 2.0 of a second, now 2.2 of Samper, but he's going to have to try and push on in that Jaguar. Noah 1.1 of a second in the Corvette. You can just see the flash of orange there. So Lee Fitzy jumps into pit lane. Whether that's a wise move, I'm probably thinking, well, we've got around 54 minutes to go in this race, but that's pushed quite a few people back up, so it will be very close to see exactly what happens. Craig in 9th, then Nick will be in 7th, but they're topping up fuel in that Jaguar, so that's going to take quite a bit of time. So Nick is there about in 7th place then. Maybe, you know, if when everyone seems to be taking a bit more advantage, but Casper's dropped down. Oh, he's had a bit of damage, has he? Had a bit of a mistake there. He's actually got scars on the front and the front right, but it seemed he had a bit of a engine issue, so that's allowed Adam Morgan up into 2nd then. So it's a Welsh 1-2 at the moment with Gareth Morris and of course Adam Morgan. But that's dropped Casper down to 3rd place with 5.9 of a second to try and catch up to the 2 Welsh lads out in 1st and 2nd. At the moment it's going to be very close to see how close they're going to get, but the battle almost for 6th and 7th, maybe 8th and 9th are quicker, but into Total NASCAR then for the 19th time. So Rasmus, you can just see the brake disc glowing as he brakes for Total NASCAR. Got to slam on the brakes thereabouts, but it's going to get very close, and it probably is going to get almost closer than you think. We're looking at the gaps though. The gaps for 1st and 2nd is 5.1 of a second. It's 5.1 of a second to also 2nd and 3rd. Then it's about 9.1 of a second between Chris Wheatley and of course Casper. So we're still there about. Samper pushing on. 5.4 is the 2nd, but the battle for 6th place, like I say, 6th place battle between Scott and of course Noah the Jaguar, trying to get away from that Corvette. The Corvette, you can just see the shadow going one way. There's a bit of contact between the pair of them. That's a bit unfortunate. Maybe Noah didn't anticipate Scott sucking in that wide, but obviously Scott's still going to push on. Noah's still there. That's allowing Rasmus Omeron to catch these 2 up. There's probably a bit of shades before between as Noah gets through on Scott Dalby, and Rasmus does exactly the same. Is there a problem with Scott's Jaguar? Doesn't look like it. He's trying to get past Rasmus for that, trying to stop that 8th place happening. But Rasmus is thereabouts. You've got Craig Thomas, the Welshman, trying to catch up to the Dane. So the Dane's currently in 8th and 3rd place at the moment. Rasmus on the attack now from Scott Dalby. Oh, it's very close. Rasmus trying to get that 7th place from Scott Dalby, trying to go into Total NASCAR. Craig's going to try and make it 3 wide. Oh, what was that? That was a bit unfortunate. I think Scott's just giving that place back. But he's gone. He's disappeared. Oh dear. Oh dear. That is not good for Scott Dalby's chances to get a good result tonight. That was a bit unfortunate. But I think it just seemed to be a bit of a problem, but that's allowed Adam Morgan then first place, Casper in second, but that's because Gareth Morris has jumped into pit lane. We knew the fuel was going to run out eventually in that BMW. He's probably decided, well, now's the other time to get them softs back on. With 50 minutes remaining in this race, Craig Thomas then in 5th place with his best mate Gareth Morris in 6th, Rasmus 7th. Looked a bit feisty going into total NASCAR, which was a bit weird, to be honest. So Nick into 8th then. Now he's actually had a bit of a game because of Scott Dalby's mechanical issues. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen, but Lee Fitzy there in 9th and Noah 10th, so kind of a bit of a weird scenario at the moment. Not even at the halfway point. We will be in a couple of laps time, but we're on to lap 21 with around 49 minutes to go in this race. We are still it's around 5 to 9 UK time. The Danes are probably thinking, and of course Samper, probably thinking, it's getting really late in the day, but nevertheless they are pushing on. They enjoy the GT racing, do the Scandinavians. So we'll see how well they do with 49 minutes to go. Chris Wheatley then, 3rd place at the moment. That Ford seems to be enjoying its life at the moment, with Samper still now 4th. Craig Thomas and of course Gareth Morris, both best mates. Probably don't want to take each other out, otherwise they will have an argument. I don't think they'll have an argument, but Casper goes into pit lane then, so that gives Chris Wheatley 2nd place rather, with Adam Morgan. So it's still a Wales 1-2 at the moment, with Samper spoiling that symmetry in 3rd place. So Craig up into 4th, Gareth Morris in 5th then. Casper still in pit lane, maybe to top up fuel. That's probably what he's doing. So Rasmus will come out, he's in 6th place, with Casper now in 7th, so the Danes 6th and 7th at the moment. Nick's still in 8th then. He's going to try and push that Jaguar all the way. At the moment it seems likely that he's going to try and push on. He's got a bit of fuel, he's got a bit of a quarter of a tank thereabouts. Lee Fitzy still in 9th then, Noah 10th. But we forgot about this guy Adam Morgan. He's trying to push on. He's got that Aston Martin where he wants it to be. I'm not too sure exactly what has happened between obviously Scott Dalby. I think when he went wide it kind of had a bit of an issue in his Jaguar, but nevertheless, Craig Thomas with a 5/10 penalty. Is he taking it, or is he just, yeah, he's taking it. So I'll have Gareth Morris to get back into 4th place then. So the Welsh boys trying to push on. Maybe trying to make it a Welsh 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 come the end of the race, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Rasmus still there in 6th place, Casper 7th. The Danes are trying to push on, trying to actually get thereabouts. Now it's going to be unpredictable between these guys. You've got Nick still in 8th then, with Lee Fitzy in 9th, so it's going to be thereabouts. Craig's cousin in 9th, Noah 10th. But the battle for 4th at the moment has dropped back a bit, but Craig's on a mission. So Samper now gets into pit lane, so it's going to be very close. It could be a Welsh 1, 2, 3, 4 if it stays as it is, but I'm not too sure, because there's a lot of fast drivers out there tonight, especially if you are Casper Brockner and of course Rasmus Omeren. The Danes are quick in these BMWs. We know for a fact how it goes, but is it going to be thereabouts? We'll see exactly how the battle between these two go, because Rasmus has conceded. But we'll carry on regardless, because Rasmus is there. Rasmus is there. We're trying to catch up to Casper. couldn't even get my words out. I do apologise, guys. But yes, ladies and gents, if you have joined the stream, welcome. This is near enough now the halfway mark of the latest round of the GR3 Go Fudge Yourself Endurance, brought to you by Eldar Racing, as Rasmus tries to catch up to his compatriot in the other BMW for 5th place at the moment. It seems Casper Brockner needs to get where he wants to be, so we are halfway through the race now, halfway to go, and obviously Gareth Morris wants to push on. Chris Wheatley and Adam Morgan first and second, Gareth Morris third, Craig Thomas fourth. So as it stands, we're halfway to go. It's a Welsh 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment. Maybe this could be a good result for these guys trying to capitalise on the likes of the BMW struggling at the moment. Obviously there's not one BMW struggling because Gareth Morris is there, but the likes of Casper and of course Rasmus at the moment though. However, it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen, but they're still pushing on. So the gap between Rasmus and Casper is 2.5 a second. Nicky's there in 7th, but the fuel lights come on. So is he going to stay out this time around and just try and make the most of that fuel for the time being? In 8th then, Lee Fitzy, with the likes of Noah and of course Samper. Samper's been in pit lane, so Samper is trying to push that Audi back past that Corvette. You can just see the Corvette sliding a bit, the orange and black machine. Fabulous colour scheme, I must admit. So Samper gets past Noah with ease, so the Audi R8 driver will now try and push on. So the Flying Finn will push on in the Rebellion Autosport Audi R8. I'm not too sure whether it's called the Rebellion Autosport, but I'm sure someone will correct me. But at the moment then, Casper trying to push away. The gap has come down a bit between the two BMWs at the moment though. However though, looking at some of the very interesting moments, 43 minutes to go in the into the race, so we'll see exactly what is going to happen between these guys. I think it looks like at the moment Adam Morgan pushing on for quite a bit. Chris Wheatley second, Gareth Morris now third. Is that been a change because Gareth Morris has had a penalty somehow, or is it just because Chris Wheatley's Ford GT40 is pushing? Craig Thomas still fourth, so it's Welsh still 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment. It would be very good if that finished away, but I don't think it will, because Casper Brockner goes across the line, does the fastest lap of the race so far with a 154.4 at the moment. So thus far it's going to be very close between a lot of people, but Nick goes into pit lane then, almost out of fuel. The fuel rate is kind of out. Sorry, I just knocked the microphone and trying to adjust it, so I do apologise. Lee Fitzy in 7th, then Samper. Oh, Samper and Noah almost together. These two are battling still for 8th and 9th now because Nick's in pit lane at the moment, sopping up his fuel, probably trying to relax and trying to push on. We know how well Nick does race, just to give him some credit, you know, it's not like we don't, but he's now 23.2 of a second between the battle for 8th and 9th at the moment. So Noah's still there. We'll see exactly what's happening. Casper is around 4.9 of a second between Craig, but it's going to be very interesting because Adam Morgan, race leader, is probably going to be jumping into pit lane this time round, because if you have a look, he's got fuel, but is he going to stay out? He's going to stay out for another lap, and that is brave at the moment. So we've got around 41 minutes to go, and it's going to be very great to see exactly how close and personal things will get. But looking at the certain bit of time, it is going to be thereabouts. But we do have some close proximity racing between a lot of people tonight, which has been great. But the thing is Noah going to get... Oh, he's got past Samper We kind of thought that would happen. We did think that was going to be pushing for quite some time, but hopefully we are on course for quite a bit and we're going to be thereabouts, but it's going to be pushing on for quite some time. But it's the battle that we're interested. So 40 minutes then, 40 minutes left of this race. It is going to be thereabouts, but who knows exactly between these guys. It is going to be very close, but I tell you what, it is going to be a very epic end to the race. Don't count me and don't try and count your chickens just yet though, but it looks like we are on course for a very interesting proximity battle between the likes of Noah and of course Sampa. These two have battled for quite a bit now and it's thereabouts, but who knows exactly how well that's going to happen. But Casper's trying to still catch up to Craig, round about 2.1 of the second. Craig's there though, you can just see going through NASCAR. Casper on course to go through NASCAR, but it's going to be thereabouts. Gareth Morris though, still in third, so catching up to Chris Wheatley at great speed. 0.7 of second, 0.6, 0.5. Chris Wheatley got a problem that we don't know about, or is it just them mediums now starting to eat? But Gareth Morris goes in, not Gareth Morris, Adam Morgan however goes into pit lane, but Gareth Morris is thereabouts. Is it going to be close between these two? I think it may be, as they go into the bus stop for the first time. Gareth Morris thinks about it, gets it done, gets that move done. The BMW gets back into that first place at the moment. Craig still in third. Casper Brotner however 1.1 of a second. It's brought that gap considerably down though. Sampa's back in front of Noah then. Noah's got overtaken somehow. He goes rally crossing onto the dirt out of the final turn. Doesn't need to do that because it will affect him, because it will put dirt on his tyres. So Casper fourth at the moment, is almost over Craig's back bumper. We knew this was going to happen. Well, I think the way Casper races, we know exactly how well that's going to be. So it's thereabouts for the taking this evening. It is going to be a very close proximity battle, but we'll see exactly how things go. But you can just see Casper trying to get up to the back of Craig's bumper. At the moment he's alongside Craig towards Total NASCAR. He will have that line and he will try and push it on for quite a bit. So Casper gets there into third place then. What a stellar move from the Dane, and you can just see how battle scarred it has been. Maybe he's pushed a bit, you know, too hard, and maybe he's gone, right, this is where I've got to try and get this back now, because I started pole position and it's now trying to take the Welsh lads one by one. He's got two more to get past, so he's got like the likes of Gareth Morris and of course Chris Wheatley, but it's not going to be easy. I'm sure it won't be, but we'll see exactly what is going to happen, because Casper coming through the latter half and about to cross the line then still has that fastest lap, so it's going to be thereabouts. But Adam Morgan also catching up. Craig's fuel light has now gone on as he's crossed the start finish line. Rasmus is under threat from Lee Fitzy at the moment then, so the Welsh boys are going to try and make it hard for the two Danes, but who knows exactly what's going to happen. Sampa still there in 8th, Noah 9th, Nick still in 10th at the moment, but Lee Fitzy is going to try and get past Rasmus Omeran for 6th place. You can just see 36 minutes remain then. This is why the championship is going to be very close, to see exactly if anyone can stop the likes of Casper Brotner taking another victory. I'm sure the Welsh boys are going to make it hard for the Danes, and the Danes are going to make it hard for the Welsh boys as Lee Fitzy goes on the offensive move. He got the move done just about. Oh, Rasmus has to tuck in, perfect. But this is going to be very close. We are at Largo, Lake Maggiore in Italy. If you're just wondering where we are, guys, it is going to be very close. Casper Still third place at the moment. Is he going to have to settle for third tonight? Or is he going to be pushing on? He's got Chris Wheatley just ahead. 1.6 of a second. We'll see exactly how that's going to pan out. We'll see the battle between Lee Fitzy and, of course, Rasmus. So the Welsh and Dane battle still rages on between not only second and third, it also rages for 6th and 7th between Rasmus and, of course, Lee Fitzy. But this is why the guys push on. You can just see Sampa's Audi there in the background. He's about 6.5 of a second, but Rasmus's fuel lights come on, but we know how good the BMW can handle that fuel. But Chris Wheatley jumps into pit lane, so does Craig, so the Welsh boys excuse me, are trying to push on, so that will allow Adam Morgan back up into third, Casper Brotner into second, then Gareth Morris though just under half a tank in that Beamer World BMW. So it's a BMW 1-2 at the moment then. Looks like the symmetry has been spoilt slightly. It looks like the likes of Casper and of course Rasmus, they're into a they put the Welsh boys into a sandwich between Lee Fitzy and of course Adam Morgan at the moment. So Rasmus there in 5th, Sampa now 6th, Chris Wheatley 7th, Noah 8th with Craig Thomas behind him, and of course Nick Sargent obviously in 10th at the moment, still pushing on though. Fair play to him, never giving up though. But Gareth Morris seems to be pushing quite a bit thereabouts, but he's still in first place then. Is the battle still raging on, or has it dropped back a bit? I think it's dropped down a bit now. This is going to be thereabouts, I think, but we'll see exactly what is going to happen. So Casper still in second, the BMW's 1-2 at the moment. Adam Morgan third, Lee Fitzy 4th. Don't think Rasmus is going to catch him. He's only, even though he's 1.3 per second. But I think because Rasmus will be going into pit lane this time round with around 33 minutes left of this race, it is going to be thereabouts. But we'll soon push on. We'll try and see what will happen between these guys, whether Rasmus will top up the fuel and just swap back to the softs for the remaining half an hour of this race. It could be thereabouts, but we'll see. It could be very interesting between the pair. It could be about close as you like, but seeing what's going to happen. That may allow Sampa up into 5th place though, however. No, both Lee Fitzy and Rasmus jump into pit lane, so that's allowed Sampa into 4th then. So another good showing from the Flying Finn, the Audi driver. So it's going to be very close to see exactly what happens. Chris Wheatley still in 5th place then. Craig Thomas 6th, Noah in 7th then. Nick could get, if he puts the hammer down, pardon the pun, he could get into 8th place because, no we can't, because Lee Fitzy's come out ahead of him. Oh, I thought that was going to be quite a very interesting. So the Jaguars, the only 2 Jaguars left of the race then, between Lee Fitzy and of course Nick, seems to be thereabouts. So 31.5 minutes roughly to go. Rasmus in 10th then. They've got a lot of work to catch up now, and it's going to be thereabouts, but it could be very close between the 2 BMWs, the likes of Gareth Morris and of course Casper Brotner. These 2 could be there, and it could be all or nothing between the pair of them. We'll see exactly how well that's going to go, but Adam Morgan still in 3rd then, Sampa 4th. Just going through total NASCAR now for the 30th time. Chris Wheatley thereabouts though, however. Craig Thomas and of course Noah, they're catching Chris Wheatley quite a bit, but it's not really going to be catchable just yet unless there's an issue with the Ford GT40. We're not going to put commentator's curse on though, but it looks like Noah still in 7th then, with Lee Fitzy in 8th, Nick 9th then, doing a very stellar job, but we'll see what's going to happen with 30.5 minutes to go. Just looking at what could happen. Rasmus is about 3.4 of a second at the moment, but I think the race lead's going to be changing. You never know, in this race it is going to be thereabouts, but anything, it is going to be close. But I tell you what, Gareth Morris has got the BMW Beamer World Car dialed up. 4.2 of a second now from Casper Brotner at the moment. Casper needs to push on. You know, he's had a bit of a disaster this evening. Obviously, you know, started pole position, dropped down at the start, but who knows exactly what's going to happen between the pair of them. But we'll soon find out. With Adam Morgan there then, third place at the moment, Samper fourth. Chris Wheatley, however, going to try and push on for fifth place then. Craig Thomas then, sixth. Noah, seventh at the moment. This is, excuse me, going to be very interesting to see exactly how well he's going to go in that Corvette. Seems to be sliding about a bit though. Lee Fitzy in eighth then. It's going to be very close to see what is going to happen, because Lee Fitzy is there in 8th. Nick still in 9th then, with Rasmus 2.1 of a second behind, so the Jaguar could yet be caught by the BMW with around 28 and 45 seconds to go. Adam Morgan now jumps into pit lane. Is that a strategic? So we'll see exactly what is going to happen. So it's going to be very close to C. So Adam Morgan still goes out in third place though. That's good. That's a good way, but he's going to be caught by Samper. It's going to be thereabouts, but Noah goes into pit lane. Obviously the Corvette's had a bit of a fuel. We know how it drank fuel last season. It drinks a lot, but Samper's there in fourth. He's going to be probably overjoyed with fourth place. But Adam Morgan's got a 5/10 penalty. So that's going to give Samper third place, is it? It may do, because it's now brought the gap down to around 0.8 of a second. It's going to be very close. But I think the battle for first place is going to be between Casper and, of course, Gareth Morris, because both of them may be going into pit lane. But will that allow the likes of Adam Morgan and Samper to catch up? It will be very close as we go under the Liquid Moly Bridge into the Liquid Moly Chicane. Down towards Total NASCAR now we go. But Craig Thomas, 5/10 penalty. He has got to be careful. He's probably thinking, you've got to be kidding me. The Aston Martin, it's a very reliable car, but he needs to be careful. Wondering where he's picking up these penalties. Maybe he's pushed too hard. But, you know, it's going to be very close. Chris Wheatley, 3.4 of a second to Samper. But Samper's gaining up to Adam Morgan, though. We'll see exactly what is going to happen. Casper stays out, so does Gareth Morris at the moment. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So Lee Fitzy is going to be pushing on for quite some time. But we'll see exactly what is going to happen. Lee Fitzy thereabouts. He's 8.3 of a second from Nick. Nick's getting caught slowly but surely by Rasmus. So Rasmus will be 1.2 of a second. It's now 1.1 point whatever, but it grows and then shrinks slightly. But that's just the nature of exactly how the GR3 guys are pushing in the top tier. It seems like at the moment Nick's getting very nervous, probably having that BMW getting larger and larger in his rear view mirror. If we could look one way into the rear view mirror, I'm sure he would be like, what have I got to do to escape that BMW? Well, at the moment you can just see Rasmus gaining very quickly with around about then 25 and 44 seconds left. It's going to be very close. We'll get quite close and personal, but it is going to be close as you like. But we'll go back to that battle in a moment. But I think the BMW guys, these two Gareth Morris and of course Rasmus, not Rasmus, Casper. Too many Danes at the moment. I do apologise, guys. I really do. Getting you two confused, but that's because Rasmus is catching up to Nick, and it's like as close as you like. But 25 minutes to go then on the clock. But it looks like Rasmus will get that Jaguar dialed and trying to get past him. You can just see how close he's getting now to the back of Nick's Jaguar going into Total NASCAR. Just about. Nick slams on the brakes. Well, not literally slams on the brakes, but you know what I mean. Rasmus goes along that curb again. But you know, he's trying to push on. He's trying to make that BMW back up into 8th place. Obviously a bit of a weird night for Rasmus on the run. Normally see him up at the sharp end, but maybe he's just trying to play it cool at the moment. Maybe that bit of an issue between him, Scott Dalby, and of course Noah tried to hamper his bit of a issue. But nevertheless, he's pushing on. Still got to try and push his way past Nick, though. Nick's not going to give up that 8th place easily. If I know what Nick's going to do, Nick's going to try and defend like mad. But at the moment, then you've got Casper second, Gareth Morris still leading the way. Gareth Morris's fuel lights come on. So it's going to be very interesting. Around 24 minutes left in the penultimate round of the championship. And it is going to be thereabouts. We'll see exactly what is going to happen. So we'll see how well things are going to go. But it seems like we'll go back to the battle for 8th place. At the moment it seems that Nick's trying to push away from Rasmus. It has grown again, but maybe Rasmus is trying to push and trying to think, well, if Nick's on a different strategy to me, so be it. Gareth Morris goes into pit lane. Is that going to give Casper the lead? Yes, it has. That has gifted Casper the lead with 23 minutes then. Casper is going to have to pit this time round though. Gareth Morris though, however, still in pit lane. The guys are still working on his car at the moment. But that's going to allow Adam Morgan. Is it? Maybe in second. Soon find out though. Soon find out. I think it is, you know, because no, it hasn't. It hasn't, because Gareth Morris leapfrogs Adam Morgan. So Craig's up into 5th and Samper in 6th then. Casper's going to have to pit, but he's got a 24.6 gap, 24.5 now, 24.4. It's going down. Maybe that's because he's going to have to pit this time around, or he may push on. We'll soon find out. But Nick's in 7th with Rasmus right behind him. This is going to be close between the pair of them. This is what we like to see. But Rasmus, oh, he almost took Nick there. It's going to be very close between the pair of them. We'll see what Nick can do. Maybe can he hold on for 7th place, or is he going to have to stop again for fuel? He's got 21 minutes. Or 21 and 35 seconds on the clock to try and hold on. I think Casper's going to try and jump into pit lane. Is he going to swap tyres though? Because this is what we need to realise. Yeah, he's going to be thereabouts though. He's got a 5/10 penalty. Oh! Yeah, he's gone into pit lane though, but that's probably going to allow Gareth Morris to get thereabouts. But looking at the map, it looks like Casper's actually not in pit lane at the moment. Well, he's up here now, so kind of had a bit of a worrying moment then for the BMW driver. Is that going to be thereabouts? Is that going to allow the Welsh boys to get a 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment? Is it, or is Casper going to be out in front? Need to find out really, because it's very close. Oh, that was very interesting. Looking at the timing screen, well, the position screening, thinking Casper was going to be overtaken and it was going to be a Welsh 1, 2, 3, 4, but he spoiled the symmetry because he's come out in third place with 20 minutes, ladies and gents, to go in the race. Nick has had to go in pit lane to top up that fuel tank. That's a bit unfortunate. I was hoping Nick would do very well, but he's still in 9th place at the moment. No, he's thereabouts. No, he's coming through the latter half of that turn now, about to cross the line, so Nick will drop down to 10th place. The Jaguar guys go to work. Gareth Morris though, however, first place then. Adam Morgan second, Casper Brotner third, Chris Wheatley fourth, Craig Thomas in the Aston Martin, second Aston Martin. In 5th place then, Lee Fitzy 6th then, Rasmus 7th, Samper 8th, Noah 9th and Nick in 10th then. So this could be right towards the end now. We'll see exactly how well these guys are going to push on for quite some time. It is going to be thereabouts. And I'll tell you what, who knows exactly how well things are going to go. But I'll tell you this, if it is going to be close as you like, we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But obviously Gareth Morris is still leading the race from Adam Morgan. Casper still third, trying to catch up to Adam Morgan, trying to push that BMW to where he wants to be. It seems to be a lot of moments between these guys. He's got thereabouts. Chris Wheatley still in 4th then, Craig Thomas in 5th. It could be a very close battle towards the end. 18.5 minutes left. We'll see exactly what is going to happen, because have we got certain bits and pieces, but have we or haven't we? It's going to be thereabouts. Lee Fitzy still in 6th, Rasmus 7th. It's thereabouts. I tell you what, do we have a lot of interest to see what happens. Samper in 8th then, Noah 9th, Nick still in 10th, but Gareth Morris, this guy is unstoppable, maybe taking another win, but we'll see exactly what is going to happen. Sorry for sneezing down everyone's ear, but Gareth Morris will be in 1st place at the moment then. Adam Morgan 2nd, closely getting now chased by Casper Brotner, 1.9 of a second. This is where the gap could be down, but it's gone up to 2 seconds. It's gone down back down to 1.9. So Adam Morgan there in 2nd, Gareth Morris in 1st place, Casper still 3rd at the moment, chasing after Adam Morgan at the moment. Chris Wheatley 4th, Craig 5th, Lee Fitzy 6th. So the Welsh boys doing a stellar job, but that could soon change because Rasmus 12 even though it's 12.9, Lee Fitzy's got to go in pit lane to top up his fuel. So the Jaguar seems to be drinking that fuel quite a bit. Samper in 8th then, doing a stellar job, with Noah in 9th then and Nick in 10th then. I think Chris Wheatley's also gone into pit lane. So the 2 Welsh boys in pit lane, and Lee Fitzy has a penalty as well just as he goes into pit lane, so they will be caught now by Rasmus Ommeren. So Rasmus Ommeren will be spoiling the symmetry, but it looks like no, he doesn't, because Chris Wheatley comes out in 5th place then. 16 minutes to go in the race. That's between Rasmus and Samper. Samper thereabouts in 7th, Rasmus 6th. Lee Fitzy is in 8th just about. He's got a penalty though. He's still got to take that penalty. That he got a lap ago, so he'll be caught by Noah. So Noah will take... No, it's hard to tell because Lee Fitzy will be pushing now, but Noah is thereabouts. We'll see exactly what's going to happen because, excuse me, with the likes of Lee Fitzy thereabouts. He's got nowhere behind him though, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Rasmus trying to push up to Chris Wheatley. He's 3.5 of a second, so he's thereabouts, but looking at the battle for second. However, Casper's been caught by Adam Morgan. This is going to be very close between the pair of them with just under 15 minutes to go. This is where it is going to be thereabouts, but it's going to be quite close. We've got quite a bit pushing on. Going to be there, and it's going to be there. I'll tell you what. We have got Gareth Morris still leading the way then with 14.5 minutes left of this race. He may be laughing. He's got Casper, his title nemesis, in second. Adam Morgan still in third, then still trying to chase after Casper. Craig still in fourth, so it's Aston Martin's third and fourth at the moment. Chris Wheatley, however, 4.0 of a second, 4.1 of a second now from Rasmus Ommeren's BMW. Samper in seventh, Lee Fitzy eighth. Got to be pushing on. Noah still there in ninth, trying to push up to Lee Fitzy up, but the gap is around 2.1 of a second. Nick's still there in 10th place. You know, it's obviously a bit of a rough and tumble moment, but hopefully he pushes on, see exactly what is going to happen. But Gareth Morris with 13 and 45 seconds left. It could be between these guys four, between him and Casper, but I think Gareth may have that advantage. Adam's still in third then, Craig's still there in fourth. They're actually 14.5 seconds between each other, with Chris Wheatley there in the Ford GT, around 4.6 of a second from Rasmus Ommeren, and then Samper is around 2.4. You can just see the Audi R8 just pushing on. Is he going to be pushing to get up to Rasmus before the end of the race? He's about 2.4 of a second now, 2.6. It's gone back slightly up, but we'll see exactly. Get into Gr3, he goes then. So we've got around just under 13 minutes to go in this race. We'll see exactly what is going to happen, but who knows exactly what is going to happen. So it is thereabouts 12.5 minutes then. So we're going to see how well it's going to be pushing on for quite some time. You can just see exactly how much it means to these guys. Samper is about 1.9 of a second. No, Gareth Morris soon to be pushing on. With 12 minutes left in this race, it could be a very most nerve-wracking 12 minutes, but who knows. Casper's still there in second. He's 3.7 of a second now to Adam Morgan. Adam Morgan's dropped back quite a bit now. Craig Thomas 15.4, 10.1 to Chris Wheatley. It's kind of a really weird situation, but is it going to be thereabouts? Maybe it's time to think, well, let's get the latter half, the 11.5 minutes left. Samper, I have a feeling Samper may catch up to the likes of Rasmus before the end of this lap, maybe before the end of... It does look like it though, however. So we'll see exactly what's happening, but just under 11 minutes now to catch the rest of the race if you have just joined. But 4.5 of a second between. It's now 4.3 between Gareth Morris and Casper Brockner. Casper's got half a tank of fuel though, because Gareth Morris has got less than half. So he's got just under even a quarter of a tank now, but looking likely 10.5 minutes to go. This could be very close between the pair of them then, so we're not close enough yet. well, this is where it feels like it is a long stint, but maybe it's not. Rasmus jumps into pit lane. Is that a tactical move? But that's allowed Sampa into 6th though, so that could be a very, I don't know whether it's a scheduled stop, but 10 minutes left on the clock. It could be very close to see exactly what's happening. Maybe he's decided to get half a tank of fuel in that BMW and try and push on. He's like 3.6 of a second from this guy Noah at the moment. Noah's still pushing on in that Corvette. Nice to see him back on the grid, I'll tell you. And Nick's still there in 10th place at the moment then, in that Jaguar, with around 9 minutes and 35 seconds left. So it could be there. Gareth Morris still pushing on. Casper Brotner then also in 2nd place at the moment. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen, because Casper is a well-established racer. We know that. It's around 11, is it 8? No, it's 8.3, 8.4 ahead of Adam Morgan. So it could be quite close. I think some of these guys may be thinking, well, there's 9 minutes to go, we could be pushing for quite a bit, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But the battles really aren't really now equally spread out, because Rasmus gets a bit crossed up going out of total. NASCAR maybe he's trying a bit wide in towards GoPro. He goes then. And into Toyo tyres. The second Toyo tyres bend. And you've got Noah still 9th then. And then Nick around 3.5 of a second from Noah at the moment. Nick's probably thinking, right, half tank, 8 minutes roughly to go till the checkered flag does drop, so it's going to be very close, I think. We'll see exactly what is going to happen between, of course, Gareth Morris and, of course, Casper. They could be putting on a bit of a idea, but Gareth Morris, you can just see quarter of a tank in that BMW as he fires it through GoPro. Maybe he's just thinking about, well, might be enough to get to the end, because he's got roughly now around 7.5 minutes, so it could be thereabouts. But Casper won't give up trying to chase him, and just see how well he's pushing on for that 2nd place. Maybe could be the race lead. We're yet to find out, but Adam Morgan still 3rd in that Aston Martin, around 12.2 of a second of Craig Thomas. So the two Welsh boys in their Astons trying to push on. Chris Wheatley in 5th then, Sampa 6th. Absolute another strong showing from the Audi driver this evening. Lee Fitzey in 7th, followed by Rasmus in 8th, and Noah still 9th, with Nick 3.4 of a second from the Corvette, with just under 7 minutes to go then. So the guys are considerably equally spread out now, and it's going to be most likely a very close proximity battle, but we'll see how well things go, and it could be thereabouts. It's not going to be easy, but we'll push on for quite some time. But as you can see, Gareth Morris there eking out that advantage slowly but surely from Casper. It's come down quite a bit. It's now 4.6 of a second, so we've got 6 minutes left, so it could be thereabouts. We'll try and push for quite some time then. It's like 17.8 of a second to Adam Morgan in 3rd place at the moment, it seems. So just under 6 minutes left in the latest round of the Go For Yourself GR3 Endurance, brought to you by Eldar Racing here at Largo, Lake Maggiore. So it's going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen. Adam Morgan there in 3rd place, followed by Craig Thomas 4th. It looks like Chris Wheatley in 5th place will be another strong showing from the Welshman in the Ford GT. But however, though, he's caught up to Craig. It's round 1.2 of a second, 1.1 now. The gap considerably shrinking. Whether the Aston's got a bit of he's got a bit wear on them soft tyres, but it's okay because it's around about 5 minutes of the race left, so could be a very interesting end to the race because Chris Wheatley is now 0.6 of a second heading into the camber turn for the end of the lap. So lap 44 then, with just under 4.5 minutes left. Chris Wheatley actually makes the nice move on Craig Thomas, so Craig has got to concede 5th place now to Chris Wheatley, but it's 4.5 minutes to go. It could be very close now between the pair of them. Samper's still there in 6th place, Lee Fitzy 7th, Rasmus 8th. Not a strong showing from Rasmus this evening. Maybe he's had a bit of issues, but he still fights for another day. Noah in 9th then, with of course Nick chasing him down. You can just see that Jaguar just thereabouts. It's 1.6 of a second, 1.5, with 4 minutes to go, ladies and gents. It looks very close between the likes of Chris Wheatley and of course Craig, but it's going to be thereabouts. What's happening up the road for 1st place? Gareth Morris then, 3.6 of a second from Casper Brockner at the moment. Casper's got that BMW where he wants to be. You can just see exactly, maybe for, well, I'm going to have to set up the second tonight because I don't know what happened at the start. It looked like he either bogged down or he just lost quite a few places. 3.5 minutes to go though, so this is where it's going to be very close. So we are getting towards the end as Casper goes wide. He's lucky he didn't go too wide and it fired him into the pit wall. Otherwise, because he would have lost ground to Gareth Morris even more. He's like 4.1 of a second now. Gareth Morris goes through the bus stop in towards the latter half of the opening sector into Toyo tyres then. The first Toyo tyres turn of the evening. Down the GoPro straight then into Mobile he will go. Adam Morgan the 3rd at the moment, Chris Wheatley 4th, Craig Thomas however 5th, Samper 6th at the moment, Lee Fitzy in 7th, Rasmus in 8th then. Noah's still holding on to 9th place. He's around about 1.5 seconds from Nick at the moment. Nick's going to try and catch him up with 2.5 minutes to go. This could be the easiest 2.5 minutes of everyone's life, but who knows exactly what's going to happen towards the end of the race. It seems everyone's kind of near enough equally spread out a bit now, but I think the battle for 9th and 10th may rage for a bit, because I think Nick's going to be thereabouts trying to push up to the likes of course Noah, but who knows, between the pair of them it could be thereabouts. But it's not really been one of the easiest races, I must say, between quite a lot of the field this evening, with around 1 minute and 49 seconds left. But this is why the guys love racing. But you can just see Nick's trying to get up to Noah though. He's brought that gap down to 0.4 of a second, runs a bit wide. Is that going to give him a penalty? Or no, it hasn't, but he's got that Corvette along pushing. But it kind of looks like it's going to be very close between a lot of people, so it's going to be thereabouts. But we'll come back to that battle very shortly as Gareth Morris and Casper go on to what could be the final lap of the race. Adam Morgan there in 3rd then, Chris Wheatley 4th, Craig 5th. Oh, he's got his fuel light on, but doesn't really matter because it's going to be thereabouts now. So you've got the likes of Samper chasing him. It could be very close between these guys, but it's 50 seconds left, so it's going to be thereabouts. I think Nick's actually now got past Noah. Noah goes into the gravel out of total NASCAR. Maybe pushed a bit too hard trying to get up to Nick, but there we go. It's going to be very close. We are around a bit. I think Noah's actually got a bit of fuel there. He's got to be careful. 30 seconds left though, guys, so it's going to be thereabouts. But I think the way things are going, Gareth Morris will take a fantastic victory. Another victory in Eldar Sim GR3 this season. It seems to be my world. BMW Vulcan Horse Machine has been the car to beat this evening, and it looks like it has been unstoppable. It looks like the Welsh boys are going to have a bit of a top 5 finish between the pair of them. The only problem is Casper Brockner has spoilt the symmetry. So that is the end of the race then, but we are just still on the final lap. For these guys, it will be between the likes of Gareth Morris and, of course, Casper Brockner, unless Casper catches Gareth. But Gareth goes through the final turn. He is about to take another victory, and he crosses the line. He will be ecstatic, flashes light, puts his wipers on at the same time. It's not raining, mate. Casper will finish second after a bit of a weird evening for him this evening, but second's good enough. Adam Morgan then third place though, however, pushes on for quite some time. And I'll tell you what, it has been thereabouts, and we'll see exactly what will happen. But Adam Morgan then in third place then in the Aston Martin, closely followed by Chris Wheatley. Both of them come home. Craig Thomas will take 5th place, so the Welsh boys will have a top 5 finish, with Craig coming across the line in 5th place in the Aston, just out of fuel. Samper in 6th place then. Stellar drive from Samper after an absolute stellar start as well. Lee Fitzy thereabouts in 7th, with Rasmus Ommeren trying to catch him. It looks like Noah and Nick will finish 9th and 10th respectively. Very good drives from the pair of them this evening. I think Noah's Corvette was trying to make it wide as possible for some of the cars to overtake him this evening, but nevertheless, you know, 10th place is good. It is points, so he will come home in 10th place. Nick will come home in 9th, and then Noah in 10th. But nevertheless, it has been a very interesting race. But never mind, we'll see exactly what is going to happen for the positions. But Gareth Morris up from 4 positions though from his starting point. That is actually decent, and it will be a very good race result as well. But I will get that race result very quickly, and we'll see exactly what is going to happen. But I'll go through it very quickly. Gareth Morrison gets the race lead from Casper Brockner, with Adam Morgan in 3rd, with Chris Wheatley 4th, Craig Thomas in 5th, Samper 6th, Lee Fitzy in 7th, Rasmus 8th, Nick in 9th, followed by Noah in 10th. Sadly, we lost Scott Dell. We have no idea what happened to the Jaguar. Maybe it lost power, and maybe it just had a bit of a power issue. But Casper takes the fastest lap on lap 24, and it was not beaten with a 154.4. And I tell you what, it is going to be fantastic. Next week is the final round of the championship, and I believe it is going to be 2 hours round Spa-Francorchamps, and that is going to be absolutely an outstanding race. I can't wait to see how well that's going to pan out. Hopefully it will be a very good race like it has been tonight, but 2 hours round Spa is probably going to be brutal. It's probably going to be brutal for them, but obviously it's going to be brutal for me. But I tell you what, it is going to be very close. But I can't wait until next week, guys. And obviously I think Friday there is going to be a bit of a twist to GT Supercars. There is actually going to be 2 commentators. I think the likes of myself and Malk are teaming up for dual commentary for the final round of that. That had to be rerun. Hopefully it is going to be epic. My voice tonight seems to be in a very good check. I tell you what, yes Nick, 2 hours help you. I will drive for you if you like, but just remember I'm controller, mate. But no guys, it has been an absolute pleasure yet again to be part of the commentary for this league. It is going to be absolute astounding. I can't wait to see what Spa will bring. Hopefully it brings some wetness. I'm not going to do the rain dance because I'm not that sad. But yes, guys, until next week, or maybe until Friday, with this familiar voice and face. Until then, guys, thank you so much. Take care. Ta-ra.